Hey, I'm one of the co-founders at Sidekick. So just a quick note, we'll soon be rebranding from Sidekick to sidekick.dev. So if you see that branding anywhere, just note that it's the exact same product, same company. And for this tutorial, I'm going to show how you can use Sidekick to connect to your customer's Notion workspace and pull in pages from their Notion into your own database. So to get started, I'll show you what the end result looks like. After you've written all the code, after everything's connected and hooked up, this is how it's going to look to your users. They're going to click a button. They'll see this modal pop up saying that Sidekick wants to connect with them. It'll be your branding, your name over here. So they'll click continue. They'll choose the application they want to connect to. In this case, we'll choose Notion. And it's going to open up the Notion OAuth flow, where your user can then go in and choose the page they want to connect, or pages, or even entire sections. So they'll click allow access, and in just a few seconds, it'll be finished connecting. You'll see a confirmation saying that the connection was successfully established. So let's break that down, and I'll show you how to build that out into your own application. And for that purpose, I've actually created a boilerplate project here in React where all it has is this button. Click this button and it doesn't do anything because there's no code written for the onClick method. So the first thing we're going to do, and we're going to do this part in your terminal, is we're going to import the Sidekick link npm package. So the way we do that is we do npm install at sidekick dev/link. And we run this in your terminal, and that'll install the package. The second thing we do is we got to import that package. So specifically, we're going to import this hook called use Sidekick link from, let's see, it should be, Sidekick dev/link. Yeah, there we go. And the way that we use this hook is we got to break it down into its constituent parts. So actually, these are not the right ones. It's called open, is ready, and is loading. So these are the fields that we get back from use Sidekick link. And this hook actually takes two parameters. The first one is your public key. So I'll tell you in a sec how you actually get that. And the second one is a callback. The callback will be triggered once the connection is successful, and it passes in a string that is the connection ID used to connect. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that string. We're going to set it to the new connection state variable. Yeah, there we go. And so when the connection successfully establishes, new connection will be updated, and we can listen to that and trigger some logic in our application. So if we then go back to our application and we click it, still nothing happens. Because what we need to do now is we need to take the open function, and we're going to call it here with the connection ID, and that triggers the modal. So for public key, connection ID, these are the two variables you need to pass in as part of the configuration for this hook. So the very first part of that, the API key, how you get that is you have to log into the Sidekick dashboard. You click on API key, and you get the public key here. And you can put this anywhere. It's not sensitive. It's just how you identify yourself when making requests to the Sidekick API. The second thing you need is the connection ID. And you can use pretty much anything for this. But the idea is that you want the connection ID to be a unique identifier for every user in your system, plus every connection that they could have. So if, for example, the user that's connecting is, their ID is Mike1234, and they're connecting with Notion, we can use this as a unique identifier for that user. Or you can just generate a unique UID for every connection that your users make. It's totally up to you. So we'll set those two, and we'll call open with a connection ID. And let's go back and take a look. So if we click this now, it's going to call open. It triggers that modal that we saw before. I'm going to go through the exact same flow as before. And yeah, it just works. It takes me to the Notion connector. I give it access. It authenticates. And here it's going to trigger the redirect to bring me right back to my app. And because we added a part in the code in the project here where it will show this only if the new connection is set, we see that, okay, new connection is set. We got back Mike12345 from Sidekick, so we know for a fact that it's connected. So that's great. But how do we actually query our customers' data, the pages that they've just connected? Well, to do that, we can test it out first by going to the dashboard. We'll go to API testing, which opens up the fast API documentation that we have. And here we're going to authenticate ourselves, this time with a secret key. Because these are calls we're making server side, we should make sure that the secret key is never revealed to anybody. So we authenticate with secret key. In practice, when you're making API calls, you'll put the secret key as your bearer token when you make the API call. Then we're going to test out the get documents endpoint. So we'll pass in connector ID into the body. That's Notion. That's correct. For the connection ID, we're going to use the one that we used in our demo. So that's Mike1234 Notion. We'll run that and let's see what we get. And there we go. Yeah, we get back all the documents that the user has shared with us. In this case, it's just that one test page. And so that's how you can use Sidekick to set up connectors and ingest your customers' Notion pages in just a few minutes. So this works with any React projects, and right now we support Notion and Google Drive, but pretty soon we'll be supporting other connectors, including Confluence, Zendesk, and Slack as well.